Do you guys remember back in 2020 when Ricky Gervais hosted the Golden Globes and basically said what so many people were already thinking? Well, Rainn Wilson, best known for playing Dwight Schrute on The Office, is now speaking up to defend celebrities and their politically charged speeches at award shows. In doing so, he's also pushing back against what Ricky Gervais said. So let's get into it. And yes, we're definitely going there. Before we jump in, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Today we're talking about something that a lot of people seem to agree on, and that's celebrities using award shows like the Golden Globes or the Oscars to stand on stage, accept an award worth tens of thousands of dollars, and then tell everyone else how they should think or feel about politics in the United States. It seems to happen at almost every major award show, year after year, without fail. One person who's been especially outspoken about it is Ricky Gervais. He famously addressed the issue while hosting the Golden Globes in 2020, and his comments instantly became one of the most talked about moments of the night. Here's what he had to say.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public.
All right, and of course we get that memorable reaction from Tom Hanks at the end. So, what exactly was Ricky Gervais getting at in that moment? His main point was that many celebrities aren't living anything close to the everyday life of the average American. Because of that, he questioned how they could confidently speak on behalf of regular people or claim to understand what they're thinking, feeling, or experiencing. Yet, according to Ricky, that's exactly what happens whenever they step onto the stage. A cause becomes the focus of the moment. Someone wears a symbolic pin, delivers a carefully prepared speech, and then the next celebrity walks up and does almost the exact same thing. It becomes a pattern that repeats itself over and over again. His argument wasn't that celebrities shouldn't be allowed to express their opinions. Instead, he suggested that many of them come across as hypocritical. We'll get into why that criticism has resonated with so many people in just a second. But first, let's take a look at what Rainn Wilson recently had to say about Ricky Gervais's remarks from the 2020 Golden Globes.
If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off, okay?
I understand what Rainn Wilson is trying to say here. And to be fair, Ricky Gervais was never arguing that celebrities shouldn't have free speech. That's not the issue. The problem is that Rainn's response seems to miss the heart of Ricky's original point. When Rainn brings up truck drivers, teachers, or other everyday professions, he's actually reinforcing the very argument Ricky was making. Think back to Ricky Gervais' Golden Globes monologue, where he joked that many of the celebrities in the room had been to school less than Greta Thunberg. His point wasn't that they should stay silent forever. He was pointing out that many of them are so far removed from the daily struggles of ordinary people that acting like they're the ultimate authority on those experiences can come across as out of touch. And the comments Rainn Wilson is about to make almost perfectly illustrate that exact criticism. Of course, celebrities have a voice, and of course they're free to speak about whatever they want. Ricky Gervais's argument was simply that, considering the lifestyle, influence, and privilege many of them enjoy, and the hypocrisy that can sometimes come with it, it might be worth showing a little more self-awareness before lecturing everyone else.
Things that pisses me off to no end is Ricky Gervais saying, just take your actor award. No one wants to hear what you have to say. It's like, guess what? Everyone gets to say what they want to say about anything.
Yeah.
Gaza, climate change, politics, you get to say it. If you're a truck driver, you get to say it.
Yeah.
If you're a school teacher and you're winning an award.
At the end of the day, that's really all he's asking for, a little self-awareness. What's interesting here is that we're talking about Rainn Wilson, who played Dwight Schrute on The Office, alongside Josh Radnor, who played Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother. These are two actors who earned millions portraying iconic TV characters and now enjoy lifestyles that are very different from what most people experience every day. Because of their careers, they're often given enormous platforms by Hollywood and major media outlets. which means their opinions reach far more people than those of the average person. So when they're standing on stage accepting an award, some people feel that it might make more sense to focus on gratitude, their work, or the journey behind the performance. Instead, those moments can sometimes turn into speeches that leave viewers feeling like they're being talked down to or told what the right moral position is. That's exactly the point Ricky Gervais was making in his monologue. He also argued that many of the same people giving those speeches work within an industry that's connected to companies and powerful figures that have faced serious public criticism over the years. His point wasn't that every celebrity is personally responsible for those issues, but rather that it's worth recognizing those contradictions before stepping onto a stage and telling everyone else how they should live. In the end, Ricky Gervais's message was fairly straightforward. Before using a global platform to lecture millions of ordinary people, take a moment to reflect on your own position first. But let's keep watching.
We have free speech, and, if people don't want to hear it, they don't have to give you an award.
And he's never put any limits on his speech.
No. And is it going to change, war or climate change with you saying something for 75 seconds after you win a Golden Globe? No.
Yeah.
But why would you try and shame and silence someone from speaking their truth? I mean, it shouldn't just be...
I believe everyone from the hardworking janitor sweeping floors and cleaning offices to someone working in my position should absolutely have the right to express their opinions. That said, there's a reason Ricky Gervais's Golden Globe speech connected with so many people, while Rainn Wilson's response hasn't generated the same reaction. Teachers, truck drivers, janitors, and millions of everyday people may tune into award shows, but most of them aren't watching to hear celebrities explain their political views. They're not tuning in to see which cause is being highlighted or which symbolic pin is being worn on the red carpet that night. In fact, many viewers have argued that the growing amount of political messaging at these events is one reason they've stopped watching award shows altogether. And there are plenty of examples of why people feel that way. For instance, here's Billie Eilish accepting a Grammy and saying that we all live on stolen land.
What you're saying is well researched, and hopefully you're doing something about that cause that you want to speak to.
Yeah.
And it's not just kind of like, what is it? What do they call that? Mood signaling? No, what's it?
Virtue signaling.
Virtue signaling or something like that. But I think that's utter bullshit. And I think everyone from janitor to actor, you do not need to be an academic. You don't need to have a PhD. You don't need to be a politician or an expert to speak out on what.
Honestly, we don't even need to hear much more. What's interesting is that a Native American tribe connected to the land where Billie Eilish reportedly owns her multi-million-dollar home publicly challenged her to give the land back. According to those reports, there wasn't any public follow-up from her. Then there's Mark Ruffalo, who's appeared at numerous protests wearing an immigrant hat, even though he's widely reported to have been born in Wisconsin. Or take this next example. Here's actor Giancarlo Esposito discussing the idea of a revolution in the streets and saying he'd be there, even suggesting that tens of millions of people could die in the process.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Right, but apparently the rest of us are expected to make it through just fine. People online have questioned whether he'd actually be out in the streets if something like that ever happened. And while we're on the subject, one question comes to mind: what designer brand are you wearing while making that speech? Now, Rainn Wilson argued that actors should be well informed before speaking on important issues, and on that point, I completely agree. If you're going to use a massive platform to talk about something, you should know exactly what you're talking about. Take this next moment. Here's Jack Antonoff being asked why he's wearing an ice-out pin. Let's hear how he responds.
Whole world showed up on Putin's doorstep or on the Iranian's doorstep or in Washington, it would they'll kill 550 million, however, but the rest of us would survive.
For every reason you could imagine, I would think. Right. A lot of thinking, apparently. For just a moment, Rainn Wilson, set your own perspective aside and consider what Ricky Gervais was actually trying to communicate when he famously said, "Come up, accept your award, thank your agent and your God, and leave." He wasn't saying celebrities don't have a voice or that they should never speak. His point was that there's a time and a place. He was highlighting that many celebrities occupy a position of enormous privilege and influence. He was also suggesting that before telling everyday people how they should think or live, it's worth recognizing how different your own lifestyle may be from theirs. Winning an award at one of these major ceremonies is an opportunity, whether you choose to use it that way or not, to show gratitude, thank the people who helped you get there, and reflect on your work and the craft that brought you success. For many viewers, that's what they came to see, not necessarily another political lecture from someone who has just accepted an award. That's the message Ricky Gervais was making. And it's a big reason why his monologue spread across the internet the way it did. Many people felt he was calling attention to contradictions within Hollywood that are often ignored, while encouraging a level of self-awareness they believe the industry sometimes lacks. Whether people agree with him or not, that moment became viral because it tapped into a conversation many viewers were already having. And according to this perspective, it was years of political speeches, public virtue signaling, and activism during award shows that made Ricky Gervais's remarks resonate so strongly in the first place. Those are my thoughts, but I'd love to hear yours down in the comments. As always, if you disagree with anything I've said, feel free to share your opinion respectfully. Healthy debate is always welcome here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. I post new videos every day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye everyone. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
A little bit about the pin that you're wearing tonight.
I mean,
Why is that important?
this is terrible. You know, I mean, it's time to. It's just for